It was this man named Ouhon that caused the chapter to be released early, and it's well worth it. We waited a week, not really, but you know what I mean, for the uprising of Ouhon with the eyes of a general, and it did not disappoint. The best part is that it's not over just yet, because there's a much bigger goal in mind. Whether you are a fan of Ouhon or not, you can't help but feel the adrenaline rush and the fulfillment from this exciting chapter. The last chapter was intense with out of nowhere tactic pulled off from the get-go by Chogayu. It was aiming to kill Ouhon unit in a matter of seconds. It could have been successful when all said and done. However, he isn't aware of Ouhon and his true capabilities. The chapter is well written with the theme of Ouhon making a comeback and more, starring with Moten narrating over the thought of a general. It's from the last chapter and it carries over here to exploit the thrills and chills of his content. Kingdom is always best with its deep rising intensity, and this is no exception. Ouhon unit was fighting the incoming reinforcement, and Ouhon continues to stare blankly, causing a stir to his men. He was so caught up to his own world that he wasn't aware that Banyo was already near him. That said, the whole tension lies on what Ouhon has in mind, and it begins with splitting up. Zhao's men only saw fit that Ouhon would just run away from the opposite direction, though it may not do any good for them. The chapter leaves many possibilities of action that is either wise but futile or crazy and suicidal. In Ouhon's case, it's a mix of both that he chose to deploy his plan into use. That said, this leaves an aching feeling because the group that split up with Banyo are being wiped out with 2 high-tier spearmen along with their set of army. It left on an ambiguous note whether they will manage to survive or not, because the focus comes forth with Ouhon's group. He decided to go through the Gaku and Chogayu army like running bulls. That's freaking insane. The struggle is immersive. I didn't know what to expect. Kanju and others trying to survive through the wall of enemies is one hell of a scene. What's worse is that their men are cut short significantly by the time they start rushing through. Needless to say, they also loses more men along the way. It's like watching D-Day all over again. The scenario leaves you on the edge of the seat. Each passing breakthrough only leaves more confusion and more pressure. First comes from breaking through the cavalry, and then comes with them going straight forward and ignoring the possibility of returning to the left. I thought it's clever for Hara to utilize these characters' reaction towards Ouhon's action to create tension, and at the end of the line, remarkable. Kanju and others are slowly losing their composure as Ouhon continues to march forward to unexplained destination. Because of this, it only leaves you worrying for these guys' survival. It's not to say that Ouhon was a mute throughout the escape. He continues to maintain collective for his men. It's just that the plan feels like he's being too suicidal. Even Kanjo lost his cool when they encountered even more cavalry from their corners. I was feeling really bad for them at that point. I also like the use of Chogayu's reaction as well. Throughout the chapter, he understands how Chin army would react in that type of situation. Each passing phases of Ouhon's action doesn't faze him nor confuses him. Clearly, he is very skillful in these strategic maneuvers. When his enemy passes through the flood, he sends reinforcements to block the entry to the left. When they are far ahead, his men will reach to their position with perfect weapons to slow them down. That all said, when Ouhon kept going straight and Chogayu finally becomes puzzled with his action, you know Ouhon is pulling off something unimaginable. The diagram used to describe the fundamental of warfare is well suited for the great outcome. Both sides have the format lined up for battle, and one slipping from a certain corner can be a game changer. Its purpose is to make you understand why the next moment is very significant. You can even say that the diagram is an excellent insert for its climax. The mix of all of these reactions and and the diagram fuse into one outstanding reward. Ouhon is a freaking genius. He didn't go for Chogaryus at all. Instead, he goes after Bananji from the weak point position. Ouhon wasn't selfishly going after a commander alone with his men. He is backing up Ouhon, and he can still slay Bananji for himself. Holy shit, that's clever. The reaction perfectly said it best. Truly stunned. Ouhon is amazed and even sent backup for Ouhon just as accordingly. That cooperation is going to lead them slaying a commander. When Chogaryu felt admiration towards Ouhon's plan, you know we have seen the most interesting man on earth. The atmosphere and intensity is top notch. The struggle to the pathway is stunning. It has that sensation of a war movie where the enemy fleet overwhelms the heroes and the latter has to survive before their reinforcements arrive. It's ironic because this chapter shows the opposite from that scenario. The double page shot of their arrival felt so rewarding and amazing. That chapter wraps up in a splendid way. Moten in the flashback explained his point of view of a general, and it all comes down to be the man who believes to be the hero that will force everything and anything else to revolve around them alone. Ouhon has done just that. That smile from him is like once in a lifetime shot to remember, and ultimately makes this chapter superb. I'm not much of a fan of his, but damn, this chapter made me reconsider. The presentation is pure solid from start to finish. The tension got me hanging. The build-up for Ouhon's grand achievement is stunning, and the endpoint left me very satisfied. If Ouhon can score a commander kill, no doubt he will get that general title soon. I won't be giving any score. That's the way I'm going to do from this point forward. But act like there's a 10 somewhere or a 9, whatever the score you like to pick. Bottom line is, I love this chapter. This chapter was well worth the wait, well worth the hype, and I just want to see more of Ouhon instead of going to someone else, even though I don't mind. Something tells me we may shift focus to other characters soon. I hope it'd be the latter, but that's just me being selfish because I really wanted to see more of this. This has got me so excited for the next chapter if we continue to focus with Ouhon. Either way, it's a win-win situation. What are your thoughts of this chapter? Have you become a fan of his? If you're already a fan, does this pleases you even further? Do you want to see him killing Bananji? I want to see him killing Bananji. Moten didn't do that, but he still got the temporary general title, which is great enough. If Ouhon gets that kill, he's going to be guaranteed for that title, unless Osa is biased as hell. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.